So I don't make videos. This is really weird, but apparently I have to. So I'm going to talk about citizen journalism. And contrary to the sad music playing, I'm not about to tell you some really sad story about my life. So basically, I guess the big question is what the difference between citizen journalism is and between someone, uploading a video of a car crash or taking a picture of a dead body. Not that people really do that, but if they did, what does it take to make someone a journalist? So I'm just going to be asking the general public, which, since it's late at night, is probably just going to be my roommates and a few people I can get from down the hall. So yeah, let's how do I don't know how to pause. What do you think about citizen journalism? Do you think it's a legitimate form of journalism and that it's a good idea that people can post whatever they want and the public can read this without them being actually qualified journalists?
I guess it's good because people can gain information through different sources, but also I guess it may not always be a reliable source.
That's so true.
Yes.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
No.
So, do you think citizen journalism is a legitimate form of journalism?
Yes, I do, because it's not influenced by, say, the journalist bosses or anything like that. It's not influenced by popular media. In general, it's more what they actually saw rather than a fabrication made up to seem a certain way. How's that sound?
That's good. So, do you know about what happened in Ferguson with the boy that was shot, Michael Brown?
Not really. I do know that the side of the story that, well, you were just saying that the Twitter, so I'm not going to say that.
No, that's fine. So, yes, basically what I was to say, that there was a witness and he tweeted pictures of it straight afterwards, and it started this whole wave of support because it was a side of it that wasn't shown by the police or the media or anything like that. So do you think that's a positive thing?
It's obviously it is, yeah, because the truth gets out, and that's what it should be about, as opposed to just trying to follow the police reports and everything like that. I think it's a much more fair way of doing things. Yeah.
Jacinta, what do you think about citizen journalism?
Okay, so probably going to be a very similar response, but I think that it's a really good thing. I think that it's something that's needed, especially today where, our main sources of information are extremely controlled and manipulated, and, they're kind of fabricated to fit a certain mold and to influence the opinion of the majority of the masses. So I think having that variety and that independent, source of information, whether it be first-hand experience or whether it's just like what we're seeing on Twitter, for example, like with the whole Ferguson, the riots and the killings and the whole Michael Brown thing. For me, that's where I got all my information from. And that was like a completely different side of what you were seeing. There were so many articles comparing the information that the police reports were giving and what was being said on TV, as opposed to the people, like the private, independent journalists that actually travelled there, experienced it firsthand, and then wrote about it. So yeah, I think it's a really good thing.
So would you say you rely more on like legacy media, which is like newspapers or television, or would you sway more to believing things such as Reddit or online blogs?
For me personally, I definitely prefer reading independent articles. So yeah, like Reddit, that's like a big source of information for me. But I guess with all journalists, whether they be mainstream media or independent, you kind of have to be critical of them regardless, and there's the whole credibility issue. But I definitely do sway more towards independent media than television or newspapers. I trust it a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That seems to be the way.
the comment, yeah.
And so do you think people that are, say if someone were to post videos online of a riot or something like that and write about it, do you think that makes someone a journalist, or do you think the definition of journalism should be changed to encompass people that aren't paid for it?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I think that it should encompass people who aren't paid for their work, but who also, are credible and are held to a certain standard, I suppose. But I suppose it's kind of a fluid concept, because you get people that kind of, like the whole Twitter feed thing where it's like it's only a short amount of words. It's not, an article or it could even just be like a picture or a video. I don't know whether that would still be classified as journalism, but it's definitely, I think, a really credible source of information, for the most part, in terms of actually understanding the reality of situations and not just what we're told by those who hold power. So
Great. Thank you so much for letting me interview.
That's
Ted's gonna
alright.
love that. Thank you to the dear sweet people that have actually watched my horrendously long, unedited video. Thank you. It seems popular belief amongst the myriad of people that I interviewed was that legacy media is not to be trusted, and that citizen journalism is the way to go. It's a legitimate form of journalism, and it's I think what people find so trustworthy about it is the fact that you can comment, you can interact with the authors, you can tell them that's not what I find true, or this is where I've found this before, blah blah blah. But I think it's becoming so popular these days for people to be against legacy media that people are almost too trusting of sites like Reddit. There are still ways for false truths, conspiracy theories to get through. The more people that read something, the more likely it is to be spread throughout the internet. So there is that negative to it, and there's the negative of people being able to post things before the police get to a certain point. Like there's lots of pros and cons both ways, but it seems this generation's a lot more trusting of the internet, and the people that are a lot more accessible and a lot more reliable. I feel like I say way too much, but yes, thank you for watching. And I guess the crux of it is that citizen journalism is getting a thumbs up from the people of Yard. And yes, I guess, does this make me a journalist? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Thank you.